Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to day 3 of Firebug. We are still working on cloning planner.now.sh. And if you just came from day 2, that was in our video where we did some stuff with refactoring with the new context API, so that everything looks much cleaner now with the no prop drilling. That's what we covered yesterday. Today, what I would really like to do is get this routine thing down. This actually tripped me up for a bit, and it took a while to figure it out. So that's pretty much the only card that we're going to fill today. But I feel like if we do this, then we essentially have all 4 panels of what's going on here. So right now, as of right now, we have this thing that we can go back and forth on, and I feel like that's good, but we really want to duplicate the full functionality of planner.now.sh. Okay, and tomorrow I think will be a CSS polish day. So because I just can't look at this anymore. I want it to look a little bit more professional. So tomorrow might be a long one because if it takes some time to get details right. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to have monthly and weekly routines, and you can add them. You can click on them. If you subtract them and you add them out again, they still persist. If I do this on 5th of April, then when I switch to May, these things disappear, and they have a unique storage of them. So it's the same for weeks. If I do some stuff on a particular week, and then I switch weeks, I can mark it off again, and that persists with the when I go back to that particular week. So that's a lot of nuanced behavior. And the tricky thing is to really just get the data model right. And you can kind of cheat by going to this and just opening up the exported database to see how they've handled. God, okay. Well, I've opened it in the wrong version of VS Code, so that's not going to help you very much. But yeah, okay, so there's backlog, there's logs, and then there's monthly routine. So you can see the data structure here. There's the top level name and frequency, and then in the completed section, then you have like the month by month breakdown. Same for weekly routines, name, frequency, and then the week by week breakdowns with variable lengths of true and false. So that's what's going on over there. I have set up our Firebase Firestore with sample details like that. So here we see the name, the frequency, and then some weeks and dates. You don't technically need to have this set up. It's just nicer to visualize once you have it up and running. So that's all good. Okay, so now we take our React app and we'll throw in some routines. Let's get started. I'm also going to try to do this. Essentially, how do I put this? I'm going to try and do this generic from the beginning. So that's going to be a little bit of a mental burden. Basically, what I mean is I want one component that does 2 different things, right? That does the weekly and the monthly. So I'm going to have div monthly routines and weekly routines. And I hope you see my screen. Okay, cool. Then I have a routine component, and is monthly equals true. Well, I don't need that if I'm in React. That's nice. And here is monthly equals false. I'm just being explicit. If I left it out, it would also be falsy. I think that's fine. A little bit of, yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Okay, that looks good. So that's routine. I need to define what routine is. So I'm going to import routine from /routine, which hasn't been created yet until now. So that's the routine file. I have a little bit of boilerplate to copy over. So I'm going to need React. Let me just kill this. I have 2 versions of VS Code. I like it so much that I have 2 versions. I'm also, you know what? I should probably copy from the more complicated version because I'm going to need, in my routine, I'm going to need a sense of what the current day is, right? I don't need to know what current day is. So I need to import the context as well, and then wrap it with the context consumer. So I have in here class to-do list, extends component, whatever. And then I'll just stick a render in there, return hi. And then on top of that, I need to do all this stuff. So I'm just going to copy it wholesale and strip out all the methods, which we're going to write separately. Rename this to routine. What else do I want to do? I have current date. That's all good. I'll probably rename this. So I will have to do some magic, I will have to say. So let's see. Well, first of all, I'll save this. So we'll have 2 separate tables, right? Well, tables is maybe the wrong word, but we'll have 2 separate collections, one for monthly routines and one for weekly routines. So in here, I can do things based on the props that I get. And one of the props that I passed myself is whether is monthly is true or not. So const collection name equals to props.isMonthly. And if it's monthly, I'm going to say monthly routines. And if it's weekly, I'm going to say weekly routines. That should make sense. So I'm going to pass that as a collection name. That's that. What else do I need? I need, instead of current date, I probably need something better than that. So I'm going to call it current period. And I need a conversion function, which I'm just going to copy because it's just math. So instead of but the point is, instead of passing current date, I just pass a conversion function, which I'm going to call let's see. All right, well. So this is from Stack Overflow, basically converts any given date to a week and year. So this is a string with the year and then the week number. And then this function's used in get week number and date to period kind of wraps the whole thing. So what that means in practice is instead of current date, I'm going to call this current period equals to date to period props. Oh, I need to do this inside. Yeah, okay, well, I'll do this inside. Current period, date to period, state current date, because I need access to the state. So I think that will do it for. Well, I also need to pass props.isMonthly. Very good. So that's that. What else do I need? This will be a moment. So a moment type, because at the top level we use moment.js. That may be a poor decision that we will regret, but that's just what we're sticking with for now. And that's all well and good. So now that's the top level prop passing. And now that over here, as far as these guys are concerned, I have a prop that I'm going to name. So I'm just going to call this collection name. And I'll call this props collection name. Is that a terrible name? I don't know. collection. I'll just call it collection. And then instead of add to do, I'm going to say add routine. That's nice, right? And instead of, I have prop collection name here. Okay. And I can add things. And what do I want to add? I want to add props dot. Instead of this, I just want to add current period. I don't technically need a date for a collection because that doesn't really mean anything, but that's what they have in the sample. So I'm just kind of following that. Title, value, and that's just this adding bit. You can't see it now, but that's just this. When you do a new thing, you're just filling in stuff. So that's the value that I get from calling this add routine. And then the frequency, the default frequency I'm going to supply is 2, because when you add a new item, the default frequency is 2. And then the completed, I'm just going to go with nothing for now. So that's that. So I have these two things now. And now to think about like rendering. So const collection is dot props. What can I do with a collection? Send people to the mainland for those Hamilton fans. I'm going to give it a default of blank array. Dot map. So this would be an individual routine. What does the routine want? I'm just going to pass it to a routine item thing, which I don't have yet. But I just want to think about, this is the list, right? And then I'll deal with the list and I'll deal with the items separately. Does that make sense? You can also, I know that React doesn't like classes very much, so you can also declare these things as functional components. It's perfectly fine. It looks a little bit alien if you're too used to classes, but it's good for you. So routine list, instead of routine list, I just run routine item. And routine item has a thing called routine, which is not blank. So I'm just going to give that to there. And then for every routine, I need the routine's title. So let's give this some space, routine.title. And then I need to do this little complicated logic thing. So I'm going to display routine.frequency. I need to sort this out. So const number of checkboxes equals to routine.frequency. I'm going to flesh it out with an array dot fill map. And really I need to check it off versus everything that's in the completed. So for example, if I'm in here and I have an array of 2, I need to check for index 0 if it's false or true, index 1 if it's true or false. Over here, this is not a good example. Here, yeah, see 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to check if they're. So for example, if for this one the frequency is 6, I need to check for all 6 of these entries if they're included, and if there's more, if the frequency has been bumped up to more or less than 6, then I need to obey this and only display whatever exists. So how I'm gonna do that is essentially go, all right, I have routine, for, yeah, I hope I get this right. Okay, so so this is not number checkboxes. This is checkbox. This is checkbox bool array. Okay, so this will just have the true number based on the routine frequency mapped over the variable length completions of that particular date. So what that looks like is, so I have the index of the frequency here. Then I go routine dot collection name, routine dot completed, I, okay, const selection. This is not exactly true because I have to index one more time for the month, but I'm just going to leave this here. We will have an error, and we'll come back to this. So the selection and return selection triple equals undefined. If it's undefined, return false, because that's just going to be a blank. And if it's defined, then just return the selection. So that will give us a strict array based on routine frequency, true, false, true, false, true, false. And I just map over that to say bool, and then I'm going to display a checkbox. And our good friend over here is our guide for checkboxes, because I cannot remember checkboxes for the life of me. I don't know what on change. I don't know why I did on change there. On click there, it's on change. Alert. Checked the bool. Okay, I think that's it. Routine item. All right, but I'm gonna also just volunteer that something here is gonna go wrong. So the current period, the address of props collection. So props collection name, right, is it's just monthly routines or weekly routines. So that just gets us to here. Then I get the collection. Then I map over it. That gets us to individual items. And then I have this whole thing, right? That's a whole bunch of things. So when I go for routine dot checkbox, when I go for a routine dot completed, right? That's this thing. Then I need to select one of these guys to finally arrive at the array from which I select from. So I need to take this out from props, I think. Except that I need to pass in la 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 la. All right, this is ugly, but it works. So I select inside that, and then I select the index. All right, let's see if I can see what's going on. Current period is not defined, 28. Very good. Connect is not defined. All right. Still gonna complain? Yes, you are. All right, show me what's wrong. Cannot read property props of undefined. There's no this. Why am I calling this? That's terrible. And because it's a functional component, I can do that. Destructure right in the call. I really like this. I really like the functional components. So yeah, there we go. Okay, well, we haven't implemented the checking yet, but you can see our preloaded monthly and weekly routines. And that's this guy, easy peasy, who for the month of April has false, 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 true, false, false. And what we have is false, 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 true, false, false. So that's what's going on over there. Very good. I just got so addicted to the functional thing. I'm just gonna do this as well because that was fun. You find this fun? I have a very twisted idea of what fun is. I gotta know what fun is. Want you to know this. I gotta know what fun is. Look at that. It's so much cleaner. God. It's nice to know JavaScript well enough to do that with comfort. I highly recommend it. And if you're watching, hopefully you're picking some of this up. And if I'm doing something wrong, let me know. That's why I'm doing this. Okay, so enough talk, right? Yeah, I know. So what I want to do is I want to have a checkbox, right? I want to check, and then I want that to change. So I need an update routine value. Before I do that, I feel like that's like too hard. I'm gonna do a plus and minus thing over here. So just like how he does it over here. And he uses a, well, I think it's React icons. Yeah, but what is in the React icons? No, this may end up React icons add subtract. Look at that. I may not be able to find what we need. All right, I'll try one more. No, I don't think this is our day today. So we're just going to use a button, and I'll figure that out in another time. So what that is I'm going to say, add, or I'm going to have a generic function for adding or subtracting from the frequency, right? Modify frequency. And that's going to take a name or a title of which thing you want to do, and then the new frequency. And I guess that's going to be a good way of handling this. So ref is props.collection name. I think let's check the data model again. It's really handy to have this in front of you, so you don't have to keep it in your head. What's going on with my Firestore? I have too much going on with my streaming and my running of 2 VS Codes and whatever. So data model says I can just edit the frequency of a particular item, given that I know the key. So I think the key is important, because if I just have the collection name, that's not enough. I do need a key. In fact, I don't care about the title at all. I just need the key. And yeah. Okay, well, that is good enough. Update. Frequency. And new frequency. Awesome. So this is a generic function to do that. I can do plus and minus internally. Let's see here. Button on click equals to handle increase frequency. We'll sort that out. And then this is plus, and I need a minus, and then decrease frequency. And then const decrease frequency equals to What do I want from here? I want props. I'm gonna need that from above. So I need to call props dot. Oh well, I just need to call modify frequency. And then what have I set up for myself? Key and new frequency. So what is the key? The routine is the key. And the new frequency is routine dot frequency -1. And I'm gonna call math dot max 1 routine frequency -1 there. So I don't accidentally go negative. Increase frequency, blah. I don't need math dot max over there. I think that should do it. That did not do it. Modify frequency is not a function. Oh, okay. So like I mentioned, I need to pass it down. So this is prop drilling, right? This is the pain. Every prop I do, I need to do this, and I need to do that, and it's just, so instead of doing all that, right, I could just be more, I don't know what the word is. I don't know what the word is. Can I do this? Can't. All right, well, props, right? And then props.collection.map. And then I'm just gonna just pass through whatever props you get. That's just more flexible, but it is still prop drilling. I'm just not typing as much. What? Come on. Cannot read properly map if undefined. Okay, of course. So const collection equals, so sometimes the first run, it defaults to a null. So I need to handle that case. The rest of the props I can pass straight through. Okay. Show me the money. Oh God, something else is wrong. So let's figure out what that is, because no document to update. Okay, I have the wrong address. So my key is wrong. It's not called the key, it's called the ID. And when I map over things, I need an ID too. E equals to IDX. So hopefully that's right. I need an index as well here. Oh, you know what? 18. That's nice. All right, go away. Plus, 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 minus, minus, minus. This is zoomed out, so I can obviously minus, minus, minus. And then when I plus out again, it still exists. So that's good. Component is defined but never used, because I've gone so crazy with my functional style React components that I've never used the component anymore. Okay. So we're almost done. We just need to check stuff on and off. That's probably the most complicated logic, and that's going to be the rest of this video. We need to modify nested objects, right? So modify, instead of frequency, we're modifying individual checkbox. So I'm just going to checkbox. So key, and then I am going to guess like index of new checkbox. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to pass a whole array and just rip out the whole array. I think that's going to be easier for me. And and in particular, we're doing a nested. So this is a document, right? And inside this document, there's an object, and then there's another object inside the object. So that's a tricky thing to take care of. And what you have to do with that is use the dot notation. And they've documented that here, where you go, where it's nested. Data. Manage data, add data. Add should really read nested. Should really update data. Yeah. So this is the dot notation thing that you want, and basically it just says favorites.color if you have a nested object. So that's an object within an object. So that's essentially what we have. So we need to use this as well. I'm using the new sort of ES6 syntax to do this by going props dot current period, essentially. And then, well, I don't need to do just that. I need to do completed slash current period. It's nice to have facility with the ES6 features. These are all new things, and they're meant to help us. So I can change the on change now to something a little more sensible. And stick it in here. What do I need? What info do I need? I need key and new completed. So that's not a great name, but bear with me. I need the key, which is the routine.id, and then I need the new completion, which is a tricky bit, I guess. So so I need the index of whatever was clicked, and then I need the I need to modify that. God, what am I doing? Okay, so I'm gonna take it slow. I need to say const new completed equals to routine.completion completed, and then I'm going to just modify and then I'm going to pass it in to modify checkbox. And all of that I'm going to call from within here and pass it the IDX function. So that will call the pass key and the new completed array, and that will just pass it through and stick it straight into the new routine. So let's see that working. I'm going to click this on and off. Wow. Pass must not contain dashes or thingies. So I'm doing something wrong there, obviously. So I'm doing a dash instead of a, where have I done a dash? Give me the error again. 2018-04. Okay. All right, what have I done? Let's look at the invalid field path. Huh. See, it says key dot update completed. Oh, I need a dot. I'm gonna say dot notation. Go ahead, refresh. What are you waiting for? All right, click on and off. Oh, but nothing else persists. That's very bad. That's not what I want. What's happened here? All right, I can toggle things on and off, but then everything else becomes false. What? Ah, I need to use the check bool array. Duh. Obvious, isn't it? So obvious. So that's, let's say that's my month of April, and then I go to month of May. I got the month of May. All right, and let's say I don't have any data for that month. I need to return something blank. I guess that you say, what can make me feel this way, my girl? Sub select. I don't know. Just don't at me. All right. Happy? So let's switch to May. Good. Let's do weekly routines of this stuff, and then let's go to a different week, and then do weekly routines here, and then go back to the old week. That jumps back. Good. I need a way to add a routine, which I haven't done. But basically, we're almost done, right? Like it's downhill from here. I need a way to add my routine, so I need a text box for submission. Submission. Ooh. Can I do this in a functional component? Yes, he can. But I cannot use the word this. So that's my form. Yeah, I can do this. So new routine, and the function for handle submit just goes right in here. E is prevent default. Add routine. It's the exact same thing from to-do list. So there's probably stuff to abstract over here, but we don't have to know that. New routine. Come on. Can't tell that. Of course, I renamed it. So the new to-do new routine. Okay, well, so that's that. You know, counted my eggs before they hatched. You know, when you rename things, you should rename everything. My boss would say, in a better IDE, this would be solved for you. You can also have a minimum there. Okay, so that's that. We have a working clone of essentially all the features. I do need to make the CSS look better. I need to implement notes. I need to implement this nice calendar. I need to implement search and the today functionality. But it's all minor compared to all this stuff that we've already done. So that's essentially it. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be posting this up as video 3 on the repo. So check out the repo. Give us a shout out on Twitter. That's Firebug fam. And I'll see you later. Bye.